Hello, welcome to the weekly highlights program on Azərbaycan Television with the major developments of the week. I'm your host, İlham Məmmədov. Now first, let's take a brief look at some of the top stories of this week. The 5th Congress of World Azerbaijanis kicked off in the city of Shusha on April 22nd. President of the Republic of Azerbaijan, İlham made a speech at the event. An official welcoming ceremony was held for President of the Kyrgyz Republic, Sadyr Japarov, who arrived in Azerbaijan for an official visit. The 5th Congress of the World Azerbaijanis kicked off in the city of Shusha on April 22nd. President of the Republic of Azerbaijan, İlham made a speech at the event.
Respublikasının prezidenti cənab İlham Əliyev.
In the beginning of the 5th Congress of World Azerbaijanis Victory Congress, memory of our martyrs who had sacrificed their lives for the motherland was honored with a minute of silence. President İlham Əliyev, making a speech at the event, noted that Azerbaijanis of the entire world for the first time came together after the historic victory.
Victory suits our people. You arrived here by the Victory Road. Name of the Congress is Victory Congress. At present, victory museums are being constructed in various corners of the country, especially in the liberated districts.
After this, the Azerbaijani people will forever live on as a victorious people, our state as a victorious state, said President İlham Əliyev, and added that it's great joy for us. The head of state highlighted unprecedented merits of the heroic sons of the motherland who fulfilled this mission for the history and people. President İlham Əliyev recalled that in his speech at the first Congress of World Azerbaijanis in 2001, nationwide leader Heydar Aliyev said that Azerbaijan will restore its territorial integrity and our lands will be liberated from the occupation. We, followers of the great leader, made his words the reality.
Settlement of the Karabakh conflict was the main task for me as the president. From day one of my election and until now, resolution of this issue and development of the post-conflict period in favor of Azerbaijan are the main tasks for me, and all forces were mobilized. All of us, both citizens of Azerbaijan living in Azerbaijan and Azerbaijanis of the world, work hard for a common goal.
We fought the war with dignity and we carry ourselves with dignity in the post-war period, said the head of state, and added that everyone who visits our cultural capital sees that it's an Azerbaijani city. Shusha is being restored and revived. President İlham Əliyev said before the diaspora movement concrete tasks of conveying the processes taking place in the post-conflict period and new realities to the world community.
Both the government of Azerbaijan and embassies and diaspora organizations and all activists must convey the new realities to the world community. You, Azerbaijanis living abroad, have more opportunities in this regard.
Speaking about the historical facts, the head of state noted that we must inform the international community about the injustices committed against the Azerbaijani people. Historical moments should always be on the agenda of diaspora organizations.
Of course, all of us, Azerbaijanis living in Azerbaijan, want Azerbaijanis living abroad to be closely connected with their historical homeland. It would be very good if every Azerbaijani came to Azerbaijan at least once a year with their family, especially to visit the liberated lands. Today we are holding a congress in Shusha. However, the liberated territories are more than 10,000 square kilometers, and now routes are being opened and airports are being built. Therefore, traveling will be very convenient.
We want the second and third generations of Azerbaijanis to be attached to their culture, the head of state said, noting that first of all they should know the Azerbaijani language. President İlham Əliyev stressed that for this our state is ready to assist in the opening of Sunday schools and steps are being taken in this direction. Mother tongue unites all citizens of Azerbaijan.
President of the Republic of Azerbaijan, İlham Əliyev, viewed the repair and restoration work to be carried out at Kundalanchayt reservoirs in Füzuli district, the construction of the Ahmed Beyli Füzuli Shusha highway and the tunnels on this road in Dashalti village, Shusha district, and major overhaul of administrative building and the construction of a conference hall in the city of Shusha. Azerbaijan, which restores the liberated territories at its own expense, has set its own standards in this area as well. Despite the difficulties caused by the mud problem as well as the pandemic, reconstruction work is being carried out quickly and systematically in all directions. The future operation of water reservoirs and the integration of hydropower resources into the country's water management system are also part of the reconstruction process and the Great Return. failure to irrigate tens of thousands of arable lands in the occupied territories in fact led to the withdrawal of these areas from the economic circulation. The deliberate destruction of existing water reservoirs is the result of Armenia's destructive agricultural activities in Karabakh. The Köndelençay Reservoir is an example of this. With the restoration of the Köndelençay 1, Köndelençay 2, and Aşağı Köndelençay water reservoirs included in the general system, it will be possible to irrigate 6,200 hectares of arable land in the Füzuli region. In total, 9 water reservoirs are undergoing construction or repair in the liberated areas. Proper and efficient management of Karabakh's rich water resources will accelerate the economic development of the region as a whole. The potential of the liberated territories in the field of agriculture can become one of the important drivers for the country's economy. Proper management and efficient use of water resources will contribute to the development of the agricultural sector in Karabakh. The expedient destruction of water reservoirs by Armenia during the occupation resulted in the removal of tens of thousands of arable lands from the economy. This issue will be resolved with the commissioning of the water reservoirs, which are currently being restored, as a result of which a practical contribution will be made to the opening of the agrarian potential of Karabakh. During the occupation, Armenia deliberately used water resources as a means of pressure. Today, according to the strategic course of the President of Azerbaijan, Ilham Aliyev, infrastructure capability for the expedient use of water during the rehabilitation process is being improved. It is also aimed at improving the living conditions of former IDPs, increasing employment, and ensuring food security in the country. One of the main components of the Great Return program leading to the revival of Karabakh is the construction of road infrastructure. The pass of the Victory Road to Shusha was opened by heroic soldiers and officers. Currently, work is underway on this road. The goal is to get to Shusha faster and easier by car. Comparing the current stage with the situation just 10 months ago, it is no exaggeration to say that it is impossible to come across of similar work done in the world at this speed and quality. Another important aspect of the Ahmed Beyli Füzuli Shusha highway is its connection with the Zengezur corridor. The length of the road is 81.6 kilometers. The number of traffic lanes is 4 to 6. The width of the traffic lane is 3.5 meters. 7 tunnels are being built along the road. Drilling has already been completed in several tunnels, while in others, the removal of rocky parts by drilling, blasting, and destroying methods is underway. In addition, ventilation and insulation systems are installed in the tunnels. Along with the construction of tunnels on the Ahmed Beyli Füzuli Shusha highway, the construction of landfills, bridges, underpasses, and water pipes in various parts of the road is being carried out in accordance with the project. The road and transport infrastructure implemented in the Karabakh and East Zengezur economic regions will play an important role in the socio-economic development of the liberated regions and villages. The construction of the Ahmed Beyli Füzuli Shusha highway is planned to be completed in 2024. Within the framework of the comprehensive works, restoration works have been carried out in order to restore the historical appearance of the city of Shusha, reinstate its former glory, and regain its traditional rich cultural life. The other state got acquainted with the work carried out at the landfill in Shusha, which covers an area of 10 hectares. Domestic waste will be stored in special underground containers in accordance with the European standards. The landfill will include 600 smart underground containers of 4 types and 11 pieces of special equipment. Assortment of demolition materials will also be carried out in the area. Ensuring the sustainability of the city's water supply system will be carried out in 2 stages with parallel projects. President Ilham Aliyev also got acquainted with the overhaul of the Shusha City Administration Building and the construction of a conference hall. Work in the building is currently being completed. The building will be built in line with the architecture of the city. An official welcoming ceremony was held for President of the Kyrgyz Republic Sadar Japarov, who arrived in Azerbaijan for an official visit.
President of Azerbaijan İlham Aliyev welcomed Kyrgyz President Sadir Japarov.
Qaravul, fərağat. Soldan qarşılamaq üçün. Qaravula. Al.
The chief of the Guard of Honor reported to the Kyrgyz president.
Cənab Qırğız Respublikasının prezidenti, sizin Azərbaycan Respublikasına gəlməyiniz şərəfinə fəxri qaravulculu, qaravul rəisi polkovnik leytenant Quliyev.
President İlham Aliyev and President Sadir Japarov reviewed the Guard of Honor.
Salam asker.
The state anthems of the Kyrgyz Republic and the Republic of Azerbaijan were played. Members of the Azerbaijani delegation were introduced to President Sadir Japarov, while members of the Kyrgyz delegation were introduced to President İlham Aliyev. The Guard of Honor marched in front of the heads of state to the accompaniment of a military march. The presidents posed for official photos.
Following the official welcoming ceremony, President of the Republic of Azerbaijan İlham Aliyev and President of the Kyrgyz Republic Sadir Japarov held a one-on-one meeting.
Welcoming the Kyrgyz president, President Ilham Aliyev expressed confidence that the visit will serve to further strengthen the relations between the two countries. Noting that a number of documents will be signed, the head of state underlined that the most important of these documents was a declaration of strategic partnership, which will raise the relations between the two countries to a qualitatively new level. Stressing a solid foundation of the relations, which is the brotherhood between the two peoples, President Ilham Aliyev added that today they were building interstate relations on this solid foundation and on the basis of these principles. Touching on the 30th anniversary of the establishment of diplomatic relations between the two countries, which will be celebrated next year, President of Azerbaijan expressed his confidence that there will be new achievements and new results, both within the framework of cooperation in international organizations and in the bilateral format. The head of state said they will dwell in detail on economic cooperation, regional security issues that require special attention in the modern world, and underlined it will be very useful to exchange views on these issues. Thanking for the invitation to pay an official visit to the Republic of Azerbaijan, President of Kyrgyz Republic Sadir Japarov noted that the foundation of Kyrgyz-Azerbaijani relations was laid by an internationally historic figure, Heydar Aliyev, underlining that since then they have enjoyed very good relations between Kyrgyzstan and Azerbaijan. Sadir Japarov said that they were always ready to cooperate with Azerbaijani brothers.
President of the Republic of Azerbaijan Ilham Aliyev and President of the Kyrgyz Republic Sadir Japarov held a meeting in an expanded format.
Greeting the guests, President Ilham Aliyev noted that at the meeting an exchange of views took place on the bilateral agenda, regional issues, and stressed that many documents would be signed during the visit, noting that the relations between the two countries were reaching the level of strategic partnership. Over 29 years of interaction, both countries have been actively working in many areas. The head of state stressed that strategic partnership meant both great advantages and great responsibility. President Ilham Aliyev expressed confidence that in the future they will always support each other in international organizations and work actively in a bilateral format. Referring to the issues discussed during the meeting related to investment projects, transport infrastructure, connecting transport capabilities, exchanging views on projects implemented in Kyrgyzstan and Azerbaijan, developing cooperation in agriculture, the head of our state expressed confidence that following the results of the visit, the parties would determine a specific program of implementation of the agreements reached. President Ilham Aliyev also noted the need to hold a meeting of the Intergovernmental Commission, within which the instructions that the presidents will give following the visit should be considered. Thanking the head of state, President of Kyrgyzstan Sadir Japarov noted the activeness of interaction, emphasizing with satisfaction that there are no political contradictions between the two countries. Noting the wide opportunities for practical cooperation in the trade and economic sphere, Sadir Japarov invited the business circles of Azerbaijan to actively explore investment opportunities in Kyrgyzstan. He also dwelt on the mutual enrichment of the peoples of the two countries through active cultural and humanitarian cooperation, close cooperation between the two states in a multilateral format within the framework of such international organizations. Noting that today all conditions exist to bring the relations to a qualitatively new level, Sadir Japarov thanked President Ilham Aliyev for supporting the initiative of Kyrgyzstan to establish strategic partnership relations between the two states, expressed confidence that the Interstate Council being created will certainly contribute to the further expansion and strengthening of cooperation between the two countries. Declaring his readiness for fruitful work with Azerbaijani brothers, the President of Kyrgyz Republic said that they believe that together they will contribute to building a better world and that there are all the preconditions for that.
Following the expanded meeting, a ceremony of signing of Azerbaijan-Kyrgyzstan documents was held in the presence of President of the Republic of Azerbaijan Ilham Aliyev and President of the Kyrgyz Republic Sadir Japarov. A number of documents were signed between the two states, including Memorandum on Cooperation between the Academy of Public Administration under the President of the Republic of Azerbaijan and the Academy of Management under the President of the Kyrgyz Republic. Agreement on cooperation between the Azerbaycan Television and Radio Broadcasting Closed Joint Stock Company and the Public Television and Radio Broadcasting Corporation of the Kyrgyz Republic. Agreement on cooperation in the field of agriculture between the Ministry of Agriculture of the Republic of Azerbaijan and the Ministry of Agriculture of the Kyrgyz Republic. Memorandum on cooperation between the State Service for Anti-Monopoly and Consumer Market Control under the Ministry of Economy of the Republic of Azerbaijan and the Anti-Monopoly Regulation Service under the Ministry of Economy and Commerce of the Kyrgyz Republic. Memorandum on the development of cooperation in the field of communications and information and communication technologies between the Ministry of Digital Development and Transport of the Republic of Azerbaijan and the Ministry of Digital Development of the Kyrgyz Republic. Agreement on air communication between the Government of the Republic of Azerbaijan and the Cabinet of Ministers of the Kyrgyz Republic. Memorandum of Understanding and Cooperation in the field of protection of intellectual property between the Intellectual Property Agency of the Republic of Azerbaijan and the State Agency for Intellectual Property and Innovation under the Cabinet of Ministers of the Kyrgyz Republic. Memorandum of Understanding and Cooperation between the Ministry of Finance of the Republic of Azerbaijan and the Ministry of Finance of the Kyrgyz Republic. President of the Republic of Azerbaijan Ilham Aliyev and President of the Kyrgyz Republic Sardar Japarov signed a declaration on strategic partnership between the Republic of Azerbaijan and the Kyrgyz Republic. The heads of state also signed a memorandum on the establishment of the Interstate Council of the Republic of Azerbaijan and the Kyrgyz Republic. After the signing ceremony, the President of Azerbaijan Ilham Aliyev and President of Kyrgyz Republic Sardar Japarov made statements for the press. President Ilham Aliyev noted that during the official visit of the President of Kyrgyz Republic, the parties considered a wide range of issues of bilateral cooperation and expressed a common intention to intensify ties, stressed that today the relations between the two countries had reached a qualitatively new level. 10 documents had been signed, 2 of them, the Declaration on Strategic Partnership and the Memorandum on the Establishment of the Interstate Council, will basically predetermine the nature and form of relations. The head of state touched upon support extended by both countries to each other in all international organizations, stated that the current level of trade cannot suit both sides, and the instructions given to the members of the delegation will allow to increase the volume of mutual trade in a short time. Speaking about the issues of transport infrastructure and joining efforts to improve the efficiency of the East-West Transport Corridor, President Ilham Aliyev spoke about the modern transport infrastructure created in Azerbaijan, stressed that the capabilities of our port infrastructure were at the disposal of our Kyrgyz brothers. Touching upon the investment opportunities of Kyrgyz Republic, the head of state noted that Azerbaijani companies would be interested in the energy sector of the economy of this country, expressed confidence that all these issues would be discussed in more detail during the meeting of the President of Kyrgyz Republic with leading Azerbaijani companies. Speaking about trade and economic relations issues related to agriculture, President Ilham Aliyev said that specific instructions had been given to the relevant ministers. The sphere that unites us is the humanitarian sphere, our cultural heritage, our common historical spiritual roots, said the head of state, and expressed gratitude to Kyrgyz Republic for supporting the initiative to declare the city of Shusha the cultural capital of the Turkic world next year. Stressing that there is complete mutual understanding of the parties on all the issues discussed, which is reflected in the signed documents, President Ilham Aliyev said that they will continue to support each other, cooperate and achieve concrete results as part of the activities of the respective structures of both countries. President of Kyrgyz Republic Sardar Japarov noted that his first official visit to Azerbaijan was taking place on the eve of the 25th anniversary of the Treaty of Friendship and Cooperation and on the eve of the 30th anniversary of the establishment of diplomatic relations between the two fraternal countries. Speaking about the comprehensive discussions on topical issues of bilateral and multilateral cooperation, Sardar Japarov said that the parties confirmed the invariance of the course towards intensifying and expanding friendly relations, which have risen to the level of strategic partnership. The parties aimed at active interaction on international platforms, strengthening political dialogue, developing economic ties, implementing investments projects and building up humanitarian cooperation, said President of Kyrgyz Republic. Speaking about the establishment of Interstate Council and the signed documents, Sardar Japarov noted that wide opportunities for expanding cooperation in the trade and economic sphere and said that Kyrgyzstan has taken steps to liberalize its economy. The head of state invited Azerbaijani business circles to actively study the investment potential of their country. President of Kyrgyz Republic stated the mutual enrichment of both peoples through active cultural and humanitarian cooperation, expressed the interest not only in strengthening bilateral ties, but also in promoting multilateral cooperation with Azerbaijan, cited close cooperation within international structures as an example, and noted that Kyrgyzstan supports raising the status of Azerbaijan in the Shanghai Cooperation Organization to the level of an observer. The head of the Kyrgyz Republic wished President Ilham Aliyev success and inexhaustible energy in achieving high goals for the benefit of the people of Azerbaijan, and in the name of universal values, declared his readiness for fruitful work with Azerbaijani brothers on the basis of these values. He expressed confidence that together they will overcome all difficulties and contribute to building a better world. First Lady of the Republic of Azerbaijan, Mehriban Aliyeva, met with First Lady of the Kyrgyz Republic, Aygul Japarova. An official dinner was hosted on behalf of President of the Republic of Azerbaijan, Ilham Aliyev, and his spouse, Mehriban Aliyeva, in honor of President of the Kyrgyz Republic, Sardar Japarov, and his spouse, Aygul Japarova. President of the Republic of Azerbaijan, Ilham Aliyev, received credentials of the newly appointed Ambassador Extraordinary and Plenipotentiary of the Republic of Cuba, Carlos Enrique Valdez de la Concepcion. The ambassador presented his credentials to President Ilham Aliyev. Emphasizing the successful development of bilateral relations, the head of state recalled with satisfaction the visit of the Cuban president to Azerbaijan to attend the Non-Aligned Movement Summit in Baku and a meeting with him. President Ilham Aliyev noted that cooperation between Azerbaijan and Cuba in international organizations, including the UN and the Non-Aligned Movement, was a good example of the two countries' mutual support for each other. The head of state underlined good prospects for the development of bilateral relations in economic, cultural, medical, sports, and other fields, noting the importance of defining new areas and investment opportunities in addition to traditional ones. President Ilham Aliyev wished the ambassador success in his work. Expressing his gratitude for the kind words, Ambassador Carlos Enrique Valdez de la Concepcion first of all conveyed greetings of the President of the Republic of Cuba, Miguel Díaz-Canel Bermudez, to the President of Azerbaijan. The ambassador noted that the Cuban president had recalled with pleasure his meeting with the president in Baku and the Baku summit of the Non-Aligned Movement chaired by the President of Azerbaijan. The head of state thanked for the greetings of the Cuban president and asked the ambassador to convey his greetings to Miguel Díaz-Canel Bermudez. The ambassador said he would spare no efforts to expand cooperation in economic, tourism, and other fields based on the existing high-level political ties between the two countries. President of the Republic of Azerbaijan, Ilham Aliyev, received credentials of the newly appointed Ambassador Extraordinary and Plenipotentiary of the Arab Republic of Egypt, Hisham Mohammed Nagi Abdelhamid. The ambassador presented his credentials to President Ilham Aliyev. Emphasizing the close political and cultural ties between Azerbaijan and Egypt, the head of state noted the mutual support of the two countries within international organizations. President Ilham Aliyev praised Egypt's support for Azerbaijan's election as chair of the Non-Aligned Movement and the extension of this chairmanship. The head of state also pointed out active cooperation within the Organization of Islamic Cooperation and expressed his gratitude to Egypt for its continued support of resolutions on Azerbaijan's territorial integrity during the occupation of a part of the country's territory by Armenia. President Ilham Aliyev stressed the organization's strong support in adopting resolutions on the restoration of Azerbaijan cultural heritage and territorial integrity at a recent ministerial meeting of the Organization of Islamic Cooperation. The The head of state in turn said that Azerbaijan supported Egypt in the international arena. Touching upon economic relations, President Ilham Aliyev stressed the need to expand cooperation in this area and expand mutual trade. The head of state noted that the organization of reciprocal visits between business circles could contribute to this work. President Ilham Aliyev said that Azerbaijan would be pleased with the participation of Egyptian companies in the reconstruction projects carried out in the liberated territories, adding that this could be a good example of cooperation. The head of state noted that a large amount of work had to be done in the liberated territories, saying that reconstruction and restoration work was currently underway on an area of more than 10,000 square kilometers destroyed by Armenians. At the same time, President Ilham Aliyev noted that there were good prospects for the development of bilateral relations in other areas. The head of state wished the ambassador success in his activities. Expressing his gratitude for the kind words, the ambassador stressed that his country was interested in taking steps that could contribute to the development of bilateral relations. The sides also underscored the importance of the meeting of the Joint Intergovernmental Commission held in February this year for the development of economic and trade relations between the two countries. President of the Republic of Azerbaijan, Ilham Aliyev, accepted credentials of the newly appointed Ambassador Extraordinary and Plenipotentiary of the United Arab Emirates, Mohammed Al-Blushi. Ambassador Mohammed Al-Blushi presented his credentials to President Ilham Aliyev. President of Azerbaijan noted that the relations between the two countries were developing dynamically and successfully in all areas. Recalling a telephone conversation with the Crown Prince of Abu Dhabi and Deputy Supreme Commander on the Armed Forces of the United Arab Emirates, Mohammed bin Zayed Al Nahyan, President Ilham Aliyev noted that during the talk he stressed the importance of further intensifying bilateral relations. The President noted with satisfaction that after the telephone conversation, Minister of Industry and Advanced Technology of the United Arab Emirates, Managing Director and Group CEO of Abu Dhabi National Oil Company, UAE Special Envoy for Climate Change, CEO of Masdar Company, Sultan bin Ahmed Al Jaber, had visited Azerbaijan, and that during the visit, the site stressed the strategic importance of cooperation and held fruitful discussions on specific investment projects of the UAE in Azerbaijan. In this regard, President Ilham Aliyev underlined the importance of the groundbreaking ceremony for a 230 megawatt Qaradagh solar power plant to be built in Azerbaijan by Masdar of the United Arab Emirates. He noted that the two countries are currently working on a multi-billion-dollar investment portfolio in the field of renewable energy, describing this as an indicator of friendship, brotherhood, and great mutual interest between the two countries. The head of state hailed a very favorable investment climate and attractive energy sector in Azerbaijan, which was highly appreciated by the UAE government. President Ilham Aliyev noted the strong political ties between the two countries, adding that there were great opportunities for expanding cooperation in other areas, including transport. The President also noted that the UAE had already invested in the country's transport infrastructure, emphasizing that Azerbaijan had become an important multifaceted regional transport hub in various directions. The head of state pointed to the very good prospects for expanding cooperation in this area too. Expressing his gratitude for the kind words, the ambassador conveyed greetings of the President of the United Arab Emirates, Sheikh Khalifa bin Zayed Al Nahyan, Vice President of the United Arab Emirates, Sheikh Mohammed bin Rashid Al Maktoum, and Crown Prince of Abu Dhabi, Sheikh Mohammed bin Zayed Al Nahyan, to the President. President Ilham Aliyev thanked for the greetings and asked the ambassador to extend his greetings to Sheikh Khalifa bin Zayed Al Nahyan, Sheikh Mohammed bin Rashid Al Maktoum, and Sheikh Mohammed bin Zayed Al Nahyan. Underlining the strong fraternal relations between the two countries, the ambassador said that the UAE had made great efforts to further expand bilateral cooperation in political, economic, social, and cultural spheres. President of the Republic of Azerbaijan, Ilham Aliyev, received a delegation led by European Union Special Representative for the South Caucasus and the crisis in Georgia, Toyva Klar.
Glad to see you again. I'm glad that you are visiting us right after our meeting in Brussels. It's already 2 weeks since we had this trilateral meeting, which was very constructive and with good results, with good achievements. I'd like to ask you to convey my gratitude to President Charles Michel for his efforts and for the atmosphere he created, which allowed us to talk about very important issues and to come to an agreement on the beginning of the process of normalization. I think that was a starting point, because we agreed to create commissions on the border and at the same time working groups on the peace agreement. We were talking about that before, and Azerbaijan's position always was, since the Second Karabakh War ended, that we need to start talk about peace agreement. I think that the official starting point was in Brussels, 6th of April. Since that time, we worked, and Foreign Ministry worked, and my administration. We've been in contact with your team, and we are ready to start as we agreed. And I think that it's important that we keep this momentum, and also that both sides stick to the agreement. One of the issues which still we need to clarify with the Armenian side is the issue related to the communications between mainland Azerbaijan and Nakhchivan Autonomous Republic. I mean both railroad and highway, because on the railroad I informed President Michel that we already built 60 kilometers out of 100 kilometers on Azerbaijani territory, and will complete the construction next year. But unfortunately in Armenia they did not even start feasibility study, and it shows that the process can be delayed. With the highway also, construction on Azerbaijani side is very active, and a big part of the road has been built. And also we hope that probably by the end of next year we'll bring the road highway to Armenian border. But unfortunately, during the Brussels meeting, Prime Minister of Armenia did not specify on geographical coordinates. I raised this issue during the VTS meeting on the 4th of February, but there was no answer. And on the 6th of April, again, I asked to give us the geographic coordinates for the highway, but there was no response. I hope that we'll get that soon. But in general, I consider the result of the meeting in Brussels as positive, and I publicly elaborated on that on the 12th of April. And next day, Armenian Prime Minister also publicly spoke about the process of normalization, and that Armenia accepted 5 principles which Azerbaijan put forward. And this is really another turning point in this process. I think very positive comments. And now, after these official declarations of both sides, we need to prove our seriousness on the table. And here we count very much on the efforts of European Union, and particularly President Charles Michel, who is already deeply involved in the process, and he already knows the details very well. And I think that creates a very promising environment for successful negotiations. So we'll discuss it in more details today. Just wanted to express our official point on what happened in Brussels according to our position and post 6 April developments.
Thank you, Mr. President, and also best wishes from President Michel to you. As you said, he is very much committed to this, to the process and to supporting the process. And also his opinion, our opinion, is that this meeting in Brussels was very successful. And we have to, as you said, work on implementation and on making sure that what was agreed is followed up upon. And that is the purpose of my visit here. I will be here today. I will be going to Yerevan in the second half of the week to hear how you see the next steps and what we can do as European Union to support a process of normalization and working towards a comprehensive settlement.
That was all for the week. Thank you for watching us and stay tuned not to miss the next edition of our program.